Hello, and welcome to another episode of Imminent Hauls. Today I've got something I've bought from somewhere a little bit closer to home than the previous episode, which was from Japan. However, I've got some kind of similarly themed stuff. So basically, yesterday I went out with some friends to Cardiff, which is a local city to me, which is in Wales in the UK. Chances are, if you're watching this video, I think statistically speaking, most people that watch my channel are from the US, so you've probably never heard of it and probably never been. But I thought I've kind of bought enough disparate stuff that I could make a nice little chill video, but nothing that I'd make a specific video on myself, just about any one item. So today I thought I'd just show kind of stuff off that I bought, because I think it's kind of relevant to the channel, it kind of fits in that theme and stuff. So, I'm just going to jump into it, there's no need for an introduction really. Let's get rid of the figure things for now. Hey, much better, and let's move these a bit forward. And please excuse all the marks on top of the table. I may get some kind of like cloth or something to put over it, but I bought this, it's a second-hand table, I got it from a charity shop. It's a really good table, it's a really good size, but unfortunately the surface is a little bit scuffed, so try cleaning these things off, they're just not coming off. But as I say, in the future that is not really important. So, time to go over some book things first, because I think they're the less exciting ones. So first up, I went to a charity shop, Bernardo's. I don't know, I think it was, no, Oxfam, sorry, it wasn't Bernardo's. And I picked up a kind of something I've been into for a while. Actually, I think the first two I picked up were from a charity shop as well. But that was Analog, which is a monthly, it's a bi-monthly science fiction and fact kind of magazine. Basically, a lot of sci-fi authors will write in and kind of submit like short stories. They're usually about 10 or 20 pages or whatever. And honestly, they're one of my favourite methods of reading sci-fi really, because sci-fi books are great, but they kind of tend to vary between either there'll be like a 4-book series or there'll be a short story. There's very few in between things, but I really like short stories because, you know, you can explore more interesting or like niche topics and stuff. So anyway, they're very recent, so I've got the March, April 2025, the May, June, and the July, August. These are all £4, I want to say, which is pretty good. I think you can get on their website, you can buy back orders for around the same price or ever, so, I mean, if the money's going to charity, you know, it's slightly better spent that way. But yeah, very cool, I like the covers. Always judge a book by its cover. And so, next up is a graphic novel or collection of some of the first comics of The Umbrella Academy. So this is Apocalypse Suite. I don't know if that's volume 1. I don't know enough about the comic series. I might look it up, but let me know in the comments section below if Apocalypse Suite is some kind of like spin-off or sequel or something. But the blurb seems to just describe the concept of the comics, so I think I'm safe. But yeah, I picked this up. This is £8 at a local bookshop in Cardiff. They do sell mostly books, but they've got like a really good comic section upstairs. So if you happen to be in the area, and part of the reason I bought this is because, well, most of the reason, it was written by Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance. Now, I've read the Killjoys comics that came out around the time of the Danger Days album, which I really enjoyed. I think I enjoyed the comics more than the album, actually. But yeah, I've always been meaning to read Umbrella Academy. I know there's a Netflix series, which I've heard mixed things about. Some people quite enjoyed it, especially I think season 1, but like as it went on, it got a bit worse or whatever. And much as, you know, the case with a lot of comic adaptations, I've heard they usually kind of alter things or like tone things down, whereas comics kind of get away with a lot more. So I've been meaning to read this, yeah. First volume for like £8, you can't go wrong, really. And the last pickups, which I was absolutely bowled away by finding, really. Just before we left, I kind of wandered over to another bit of the comic section, and I found a ton of issues of Dracula Lives. So this is from the 70s, I do believe. 75 there, it says. So I got a few issues. Now, there was kind of like, there was a bunch more, but they were all around this issue range, and to be honest, especially back in the day, issues didn't always follow on from each other. So there wasn't really a need for me to go for a run of them. But I kind of looked through them and I picked out basically like 7 of them that started from volume 56 on to, well, you'll see in a second. But honestly, I kind of love this for 2 reasons. So one, my brother gave me when he was young. He got, well, I think it was like late 80s, but so this is a UK publication. You can tell because it's kind of like wide and quite thin compared to the American, like smaller standard size. But he gave me a ton of old Punisher comics, which were in this format as well. And I'd never seen these before, but I've like seen the covers of... I don't know if in the US Tomb of Dracula was a different run, or this is like specifically the 70s run of Dracula Lives or something. But basically, I saw the covers and I couldn't pass it up. So we're going to quickly look through some of the covers. So this is volume 46, featuring Gormar, Lord of the Living Lightning. Very cool. And on the back, it's also an advert for a Treasury edition of Doctor Strange, 100 pages. It's also 8p back in the day. But to be fair, £3 I think is a decent price, especially for this is from the 70s. It looks to be in pretty good nick. I will probably start reading these later, actually. I love these kind of comics because a lot of the stories are self-contained and they're kind of like... They're an interesting kind of adaptation of Dracula in that kind of like, it's scary, but like by 70s standards, basically. It's almost a little bit endearingly sort of goofy or whatever, but I love the art. So that is volume 46. Put it upside down there. We've got 47 with the daughter of Dracula, I guess, Demons of Darkness. Again, 8p. Oh, and on the back, so the other cool thing, your free werewolf mask. That is terrifying, I'm sure. Sorry, I should have put a spoiler there. That, I believe, is Werewolf by Night, because coming up in a second, there is going to be... Oh, Tigra, the werewoman. I don't think she's on the cover, but okay, fair enough. We'll get onto it in a second, because another reason I bought these... oh, The Living Mummy. Okay, cool. So they've kind of slightly spoiled it there. Wait, was that 40? Sorry, that was out of order. This should have been first. I do apologise. So this is 47, featuring The Living Mummy. Just like in Death Do We Join. Like those skeleton guys there. So cool. It's on the back. Oh, cool. Midsummer Madness. Is that Bigfoot? That's... Wait, is that... that's not the Sasquatch from Alpha Flight, is it? Because Alpha Flight were later than 75, I want to say. But cool. Let's put that there. We're on to volume 49 now. Okay, we are back in actual order. 3 macabre masterpieces and 1 mighty mag. Shock after shock awaits you inside. Another incredible cover there. Living Mummy. So, he, you know... Basically, this is kind of Marvel's... own brand version of the Universal Monsters, which I also love. It's just like that era of horror. I mean, I say that era of horror, kind of like up till the 80s when like horror really embraced the blood and guts and gore and everything. Sort of like it's kind of a charming era of horror. Ape Extravaganza. Oh, that's Planet of the Apes. Hell yeah. Also picking that up as a face, my camera is apparently, which is, not the other two, which is odd, just that one. Okay. And then I had to get this because A, the cover art is just so incredible. Also, 50th issue. I am a sucker for like 50, 100, you know, celebration issues like that. The Origin of Lilith, Dracula's daughter. Oh, we saw her a few issues ago. And yeah, basically I had to get this because Dracula, Living Mummy, Werewolf by Night, like... 3 of oh cool, the Elementals. There you go. The Werewolf by Night. I don't know if any of you saw the Disney Plus Werewolf by Night special they made for Halloween a couple of years ago. I kind of enjoyed it. In terms of like modern Marvel things, it was pretty good. Okay, we got the Planet of the Apes thing again. Then coming up to the end of it, we've got Dracula Lives 51, 3. Oh yes, I've only just picked up on it. Sorry, I said there were like probably 2 strips, but there's actually 3, which is cool. Good lord, he doesn't cast a reflection. I am your death. Hey, there we are, cool. Werewolf by Night and Living Mummy make their return in this one as well. Very cool. Wow, this Planet of the Apes thing. There was actually one issue of Planet of the Apes magazine there as well. I think that was £3 as well. Maybe I'll go back. If I enjoy these, like, it's one of those things that, like, I kind of would love a run of these. I'm sure the earlier issues are probably worth a little bit more and stuff. Ooh. In Fight to the Finish. Okay, Werewolf v Werewolf. And this is 52. When Dracula says, "Enter freely and of your own will. All must face death." Oh, also featuring the Living Mummy. Where's the mention of Werewolf by Night? I know there's like Werewolf versus Werewolf, but you don't mention him by name. Hey, and there we are. Oh, 1976 annuals. Okay. So this run is purely 1975 then. I've kind of not been noticing the date, but I think these were a weekly thing. I think basically these were a UK publication of strips that had run in the US maybe the year before or something. I'm not fully sure, but like the Punisher ones that my brother gave were basically that. It was a weekly thing, but I think I looked it up and the strips are like 2 or 3 years old. The UK has a weird history with comics like that, but anyway. Right, that wraps up all of the reading material stuff. On to the physical statues and stuff like that. Sorry, I just realised I forgot to mention actually, the bookshop that I bought all those comics in is called Troutmark Books. It's in one of the shopping arcades in Cardiff. Just in case you do happen to be going there, or, you know, if you're local or anything. Right, on to the kind of more physical things now. So we also took a trip to Super Tomato, which again is a shop in Cardiff. All of these were, which is kind of like I don't know how else I'd describe it than a nerd shop, if that makes sense. It's kind of like full of like video games and kind of video game and anime themed stuff. There's like loads of Transformers. There's a ton of stuff there. Chances are, if you're into sort of like the nerdier side of the hobby and stuff, you'll probably find something there you quite like. It's kind of modelled after Super Potato, which is obviously the name as well. But it's like a Japanese second-hand store, so Super Tomato is much the same. I've been there before. It's very cool. So I picked up a couple things, not loads, but first off, actually, he gave me a cool bookmark. That's a podcast, so if anyone's interested in a manga podcast thing, that's cool. I don't know if it's local or anything. I like the artwork though, very very cool. Anyway, so I picked up 2 things. One of these was for £4. There were some Pokemon bouncy balls. So I believe these are from like 2021 or something, but I don't know if anyone else remembers, but back in the day, one of the first products, especially in the UK, we got of Pokemon when it first kicked off, you know, in 1999, 2000 or whatever, was some bounty balls, and in the middle of them were like figures of various things. I think I got a Charmander, a Mewtwo, and like 1 or 2 others. And they were really interesting because I think I actually got bounty balls before I ever got the regular Tomy figures, which means that like my first view of Charmander was in this bouncy ball. So I kind of saw these and they reminded me of them basically. So we have a Great Ball. So these are £4. In terms of dollars, I don't know what that would be. They'll be like $6 or something. We've got a Master Ball. Very nice. They're not in the best condition. I can especially tell now that I have taken them out of the packaging. But honestly, for £4, you know. We've got a Charmander. Very cute. I think these are official. Ooh, good lord. Okay, it's not quite as rigid inside as. Okay, these aren't amazing, but these might be from Japan. I'm not sure. I've not seen these over in the UK, but then I don't really keep up with the bouncy ball market these days. You know how it is. It's pretty wild out there. We've got a Squirtle, very cute, and of course we have Bulbasaur. Of all of them, actually, I feel like that's a very stock image of Bulbasaur I've seen loads of. That Squirtle and Charmander I've not really seen. Charmander especially looks a little bit chibi. I don't know, I'm sure these are official art and stuff, and I mean, you know, they're bouncy balls. They're probably easy to knock off, but also easy for like some company to get the rights of Pokemon. These are okay. That's a decent bounce from the small ones. Can we? Okay, cool. I'm not going to bore you with bouncing bouncy balls, but I probably will spend a embarrassing amount of time being amused by bouncy balls like that. Yeah, very cool. Five bouncy balls, all Pokemon themed, for £4. Can you go wrong? Kind of. It depends if you're into bouncy balls, I guess. Put those to the side and hope they don't roll off the table. And next up, so if you watch my videos in chronological order, A, what's wrong with you? B, in the last video I actually reviewed the Nico Robin Egghead version statue I bought in a Mandarake in Japan. And I just casually mentioned that, like, I want to get some more One Piece statues, including one of the main ones is Brook, because I just recently finished watching the Thriller Bark arc. And lo and behold, when we went to Super Tomato, in the back was a Brook statue. Now, he looks broken, and I got a little bit concerned for a second when I pulled this out of my backpack yesterday, and thought, oh, I've snapped him in half. But then I realised, no, hang on, he's a prize figure. They literally come like this. So I'm going to go assemble him now, and then we'll take a look. Also, before I assemble him, he was $14.99, which is like, I don't know, $18 or something. It's pretty good. Alright, here he is. I am incredibly happy with this statue. I love Brook. He's so, like, lanky and weird, and admittedly, I have only recently finished the arc he appeared in, and I haven't watched any episodes since. But I just really like him. I watched One Piece Film Red before even getting onto the arc where he joined them. But I loved him in that. I loved him in Thriller Bark. I've always liked his design and stuff. I've seen him, you know, posted over the years online and everything. So I don't know if his look updates after the time skip. I know a lot of the Straw Hats do. But this is like classic Brook from Thriller Bark. He's, you know, got the rip in his arm, in his sleeve there. He's got his kind of, you know, the jacket he wears and stuff. I just love the fact that he's a skeleton, you know. It's got his kind of arms crossed there at the back. There is the very cool rip in his side there. And there's his face. He's always happy. He's got a massive mane of hair. And he's got his top hat there. It's a pretty simple statue. I don't know how beloved Brook is. I really like him. You know, and I love, man, Thriller Bark was such a good arc, because I'm a big fan of The Nightmare Before Christmas, and Thriller Bark was basically The Nightmare Before Christmas meets shonen anime. It was so good. It went on a little bit long near the end, but, like, I enjoyed it. I loved all the spooky designs and the weird, you know, characters and stuff. Anyway, going to move him to the side now, and then we'll get on to the last thing, which is also One Piece themed. So if you don't like One Piece, the end of this video is going to be very disappointing. Alright, the last two items of the video are going to be these One Piece Mystery Mini Vinyl Figures. I can't remember which video it is I did before. You know what? I think maybe I did do a haul video before from stuff from Cardiff, because pretty sure I bought two of these before from Cardiff. My memory is terrible. If that's the case, then I apologise. Anyway, last time I opened two of these on the channel, and I believe I got Zoro and him, and I've not seen far enough into the anime to know who he is. I think I looked it up last time, like on the video, just to give his name, but it hasn't stuck with me. So basically, as long as I don't get Zoro or him, I will be happy. They're both 1 in 12 chances. Honestly, I'd be happy with the first two rows especially, because they are all the Straw Hat, you know, crew. Obviously, I'd love Brook. That is cool. I don't know why he's wearing a crown, but, you know, that's cool. I mean, this Puppet guy seems to be... Well, Puppet and Sabo, actually, seem to be, like, the rarest. I don't know who these are, because, again, this is quite late into the series. I've seen Dom Flamigo, is it? I think his name is, maybe. He's popped up briefly. That's Law, right, I want to say. The rest of them are the Straw Hat crew. So, any of those would do. I just don't want doubles because, like, statistically, you know, there are... How many are there? There's 15 different ones to get. Statistically, I think we're okay, but... So this one's a little bit lighter, which I was kind of hoping might be Brooke, but thinking of it, he's got a huge afro and a crown and stuff, so it probably isn't Brooke, is it? But let's see anyway. Honestly, I'd be happy with Luffy. I'd be happy with anyone, as I've stated, I think, 3 times now. Time to pull out the mysterious black bag. Who will it be? I think they come on stands, or maybe they don't, I can't remember. It is. Oh, it's Chopper! Hell yeah! Okay, hang on, let me just double check. He doesn't have a stand or anything. Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to put him to the side for a second. I'm going to open the other one, and then we'll take a look at both of them together, I think. But that is incredible. I don't know why Chopper is wearing, like, camo on his hat. It looks like he's also got a gun. It's undoubtedly something to do with the arc this takes place in. It's not... I was going to say it's not themed after Film Gold, is it? But then Film Gold is years old, so I don't think it'll be. So this one's a bit heavier, so I don't think it's going to be Chopper. But, let's see. Frankie would be cool, actually, but that's probably going to be... Oh, yo, it's Luffy! Okay, awesome. Right, I'm going to go put all the trash to the side and stuff, and we'll take a look. Alright, they are really cool. So, I will say actually, from the top as well, these are, I do believe, official Funko products, which, there you go, which I've never been a huge fan of, Funko. The Funko Pops anyway, I kind of think they're a little bit soulless and whatnot, but like, genuinely I think the styles of these are really cool. So, also looking at the back there, they're both 1 in 6, which I think is... weirdly, like, a more common thing than either Zoro or that guy, who are 1 in 12. So, I think, I don't know, I'm less lucky, but also pretty happy, because, like, they're both characters I want. So, take a quick look. So, Luffy is wearing a very interesting, shirt kind of thing. I don't know what arc this is specifically based on. If indeed it is based on a specific arc, I'm guessing it is. But he's got his hat there. He's got the hair and stuff. He's doing a kind of gum pistol pose. And right, Chopper takes a little bit of balancing. He's very top heavy. He's very light as well, but like obviously there's a lot more. That is very cute. I don't know. Is that a No, it's not a watermelon, right? Or is it? Is he wearing a watermelon as a hat and he's just fashioned it into a hat? I don't know. But there are his antlers. Very cute. He's got a gun. Why has he got a gun? Who gave Chopper a gun? I don't know if he... Well, I was going to say, I don't know if he's old enough to, to own a gun. But this is the time of pirates. And technically this is post-time skip, as you can tell from his hat and stuff. So, yeah, technically... But yes, Chopper is very cute. I very much love that reindeer boy. No, he's not going to stand. Hang on. I think my table might be a little bit wonky, potentially. But he stands here, so maybe you have to have a very straight field to put him on. But yeah, that about wraps everything up. I'm gonna bring in Brooke in the back. He's obviously a statue, so going to be a lot taller. But honestly, even in the anime, that's kind of his canonical height. He is just like 7 feet tall, which is very cool. I do like the lanky skeleton man. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. It's been more of a kind of chill video today, but I enjoy doing them. I do have quite a few things left to do. Looking at the kind of backlog of stuff I need to film videos on, and I think there's about 5 or 6 of them. So I've definitely got some things coming up in future. Maybe next week, who knows? I'll see if I get around to it. I might start streaming a bit more as well, because a bit of background thing that is not relevant to anything on my channel really, but I had eye surgery recently and I can see a lot better now, so it's kind of opened the door to making videos a little bit better, kind of seeing better, details and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll let you get on with it. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll leave a playlist to my other Imminent Hauls video up the top there, and I'll leave you to recommend something, and I will say goodbye. So until next time, goodbye!